Arrtx didn't just send me one set, but 2 sets to try out. Hi pretties! My name is Georgina. In today's video, I will be unboxing and testing out Arrtx acrylic markers as well as drawing a sketchbook spread of my melody from Sanrio as a human. So here's the grand reveal of the markers. I can't believe I have so much markers now. Arrtx is spoiling me for real. If you've never heard of acrylic markers before, they are basically markers that you can use on any surface. Unlike traditional markers, these markers can be layered just like paint, and they don't bleed through the back. Now let's move on to the swatching. The color range of these marker sets are actually quite decent. There seem to be just enough colors, and I love how they included more skin tone shades in this marker line. But I just wish that there were more darker colors. Here are all the colors. You like my outfit today? I'm currently cosplaying as my melody. If you would like these markers, the link of them will be in the description. And I just want to say thank you so much to Arrtx for sending me some more markers. Well, I need Arrtx. I'm so happy to be able to receive more markers. Now let's move on to the drawing. Unlike the 2 previous markers I reviewed, these markers have a bullet tip, and they need to be pressed down and shaken before use. However, that isn't completely a bad thing, because it allows the markers to have a stronger coverage, and these markers have 50% more ink than regular markers. These markers are also waterproof and long-lasting, so it works amazingly for DIYs like this one. The coverage of these markers are no joke. I actually used these markers for a huge school art project, and the white marker was literally brighter than my future. I have never seen such a clean, bright white that was already good enough in one coat. That is literally life-changing. I actually ended up ditching my Posca marker, which is what I used to consider as my favorite white acrylic marker. The coverage of these markers are that insane. Okay, now I'll stop yapping about that. If you are going to use markers for school projects, I would highly recommend these. I basically joined an art competition that required us to make 4 big posters that had complete freedom on which art supplies we could use. And acrylic markers were our literal saviors. They allowed us to work so much faster than the previous year, and we got to make our projects so detailed and amazing that we ended up winning first place. I have noticed, however, that these markers do not dry exactly as you lay them down. Some dry darker and some dry lighter. But that's no big problem if you create a swatch sheet. Another thing I do recommend you to do is to wait till the marker is completely dry before adding a new layer, because it can end up quite disastrous. The ink in these markers are quite on the watery side, so you might need to wait just a few seconds for it to completely dry. Oh, and another thing is, please do not shake them without the cap. I don't know why I did that, but basically I accidentally stained my pencil case. Okay, that was actually my fault. Like, who does that? But basically while I was shaking it, it splattered everywhere. I'm just pointing out this user error of mine just in case someone is as absent-minded as me. Yeah, I think I need common sense. Yeah, so that's just a reminder to keep the cap close when you're shaking it. Another thing I'd like to add and commend Arrtx for is that this marker set specifically has way more skin tones than the previous similar sized marker sets that they have made in the past, which is such a huge step up considering I previously did not have much skin tones. I didn't end up using the skin tone markers in this set because I felt like the bullet tip was way too large for the area I was coloring, but I'm still super happy and it's so nice to see Arrtx making a change. Another thing I'd like to add is the 36 color set actually has the same exact colors as the 48 color set, but it's just that the 48 color set has a bit more markers than the 36 color set. Overall, I found these markers to be really helpful in larger scale projects. I would honestly love to pick them up so much more whenever I do school projects. I think that it has amazing coverage even though you just put one coat, especially that beautiful white marker. Guys, I think she secretly has an know the obsession with that white marker. But it can take a while to get used to them. I personally had quite a bit of a hard time adjusting to shaking and pressing the marker down, but eventually I got used to them. Between the two marker sets, I think both of their color ranges are already good, but to be honest, I think it's worth spending that little extra just to get the 48 color set instead. I also used the 60 set acrylic markers that Arrtx had previously gave me for the finer details. If you're perhaps curious on the other lines of acrylic markers as well, I have posted 2 other Draw With Me's with reviews of the other lines of acrylic markers. So if you're interested in checking that out, feel free to watch it after this video. I also realized that it's been 4 months since I first tried out Arrtx acrylic markers, and the Sawako Draw With Me video has 141,000 views now, which is honestly crazy. I'm honestly so glad that Arrtx decided to collaborate with me once again. And I hope that I can continue to make some more art videos in the future because a lot of people seem to like them. In my 3rd Draw With Me videos, I requested for some character ideas that I should draw, and I got so many comments begging me to draw my Melody, which is why I delivered. My Melody is actually my favorite character from Sanrio because her design is adorable and she has such a sweet personality. This design was extremely inspired by the Japanese version of My Melody and not whatever this is. And the clothing style she's wearing is also inspired by one of the alternative fashions in Japan called Lolita fashion, which is mostly inspired by the old eras of fashion. It is absolutely one of my favorite styles, and when I saw this picture of My Melody online, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cute, and I personally thought that she would match this soft and pretty style really well. The winter coat at the bottom is actually inspired by the Liz Lisa ponchos that I saw a lot on TikTok. I honestly want one because it's just so cute, but sadly seasons don't even exist in my country, so it's low-key useless to buy one. I don't think that I was able to do it justice though because I have no idea how to draw it, but it's just so pretty, which is why I wanted to show it to you guys. This artwork honestly just reminded me of all the Sanrio stores and Lolita fashion stores that I went to in Japan, and it makes me want to come back for the 4th time. If you have any character recommendations that you'd like to see me draw in the future, please let me know in the comments. Preferably pink characters or characters who have pink in them so I don't ruin my channel's aesthetic. I'm not sure when my next art video will be, but I hope that I'll still be able to post some more art videos in the future. Anyways, here's the final artwork. I'm actually quite happy with how it turned out, and I think the character design is just super cute. If you're not a previous subscriber and you just found me from this video, hi, I hope you enjoy. But if you are, thank you so much for tuning in even though this isn't my usual content. If you made it up to here, comment down below the word art. If you would like to see more cozy and silly content like this, feel free to subscribe and follow my Instagram and Pinterest. Thank you so much for watching. Keep smiling pretty.